Welcome to an enriching journey through the Book of Proverbs. This ancient book, part of the Bible's wisdom literature, offers timeless insights into life's fundamental truths. Our focus today is on chapters 6 through 11, a rich tapestry of teachings on personal responsibility, integrity, and wisdom. We will explore how Jesus Christ, in his life and teachings, embodied these profound lessons. So, buckle up for a fascinating exploration. Join us as we dive into the wisdom of Proverbs and the teachings of Jesus. Chapter 6 of Proverbs warns against surety, laziness, and sowing discord. Let's delve into this. Surety, or making promises one cannot keep, is a trap many fall into. Yet, Jesus teaches us to let our yes be yes and our no be no. He emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility and honoring our commitments. Laziness is another pitfall warned against in the Proverbs. The narrative of the lazy man serves as a cautionary tale. Jesus, through parables such as the parable of the talents, underscores the importance of diligence and making the most of our God-given resources. Lastly, we find warnings against sowing discord. This is a call to unity, a principle Jesus holds dear. He prays for believers to be one, just as he and the Father are one. He urges us to pursue peace, harmony, and mutual edification, rather than division and strife. As Jesus taught, our actions matter and unity is a blessing. Let's strive to avoid surety, laziness, and discord as we walk in the footsteps of Jesus' teachings. The latter part of Proverbs 6 cautions against adultery and sexual immorality. This wisdom literature paints a vivid picture of the dire consequences of such actions, not just in a physical sense, but also on a deep soulful level. It underscores the importance of maintaining purity and integrity in our relationships. Now let's draw parallels from the life and teachings of Jesus. Christ, in his infinite wisdom, emphasized the sanctity of marriage. He taught that marriage is not just a legal contract, but a divine covenant, a holy union of two souls, symbolizing the union between Christ and the Church. Moreover, Jesus stressed the importance of forgiveness. While society was quick to condemn the adulterous woman in John chapter 8, Jesus extended her grace and forgiveness, emphasizing the need for personal repentance. Lastly, Jesus taught the importance of guarding one's heart. In Matthew chapter 5, he explained that even lusting after someone in one's heart is tantamount to committing adultery. This teaching goes beyond the act itself and delves into the realm of thoughts and intentions. So, as we see, the wisdom against adultery in Proverbs and the teachings of Jesus intertwine beautifully. They both uphold the standards of purity, faithfulness, and integrity in relationships. Jesus, too, stressed the importance of purity, both in action and in heart. Proverbs 7 describes the danger of seduction and the need for wisdom. The chapter warns us about the allure of temptation, personified as a seductive woman. It underscores the importance of wisdom and understanding in resisting such allure. Now let's reflect on Jesus' teachings. He often spoke about discernment, the ability to judge well. He warned his followers about false prophets who come in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. His teachings echo the wisdom of Proverbs 7, emphasizing the need to be discerning, to understand the true nature of things beneath their surface appearance. Jesus, like the Proverbs, calls for wisdom and understanding to navigate the complexities of life and to avoid being led astray by deceptive influences. His teachings serve as a practical guide for leading a wise and discerning life. Just as the Proverbs advise, Jesus taught the importance of discernment and wisdom. Chapter 8 of Proverbs beautifully personifies wisdom. It paints a vivid picture of wisdom as a person, calling out to humanity, offering guidance, and promising prosperity to those who heed her call. It's an allegory, a poetic device, but it's more than just a literary flourish. The personification of wisdom provides us with a relatable and understandable image of this abstract concept. This chapter opens up with wisdom standing at the top of the heights, by the way, at the crossroads, calling out to all who pass by. She is not hidden or elusive. Instead, she is accessible, almost eager to share her insights. It's an inviting image, isn't it? Now let's look at Jesus. He is often described as the embodiment of wisdom. The New Testament frequently refers to him as the wisdom of God. This is not a casual association. When we look closer at his teachings, we see the qualities of divine wisdom shining through. Jesus, much like wisdom in Proverbs, offers guidance to all. He is accessible, reaching out to the sinners, the lost, the last, and the least. His teachings are not hidden or cryptic, but open to anyone willing to listen and understand. Moreover, the wisdom Jesus imparts is not worldly but divine. It's about righteousness, justice, and fear of the Lord. These are the same qualities that wisdom in Proverbs promises to those who heed her call. Consider the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus teaches about humility, about loving one's enemies, about seeking God's kingdom before worldly riches. These are not commonsensical, worldly wise teachings. They are counterintuitive, challenging, and yet deeply insightful. They reflect divine wisdom, the wisdom that brings true prosperity, the prosperity of the soul. So, in Jesus we see the embodiment of divine wisdom as described in Proverbs. He is wisdom personified, reaching out to us, offering guidance and promising spiritual prosperity. He teaches us to prioritize divine wisdom over worldly wisdom, righteousness over riches, and the fear of the Lord over the fear of man. In Jesus, we see wisdom's promise fulfilled. Proverbs 9 presents the contrasting invitations of Lady Wisdom and Dame Folly. This proverbial scene is like a grand play where two characters, Lady Wisdom and Dame Folly, send out their invitations to the people. Lady Wisdom, a figure of virtue and insight, invites us to a feast of knowledge and understanding. She urges us to leave our simple ways, to walk in the way of insight, and to fear the Lord, which is the beginning of wisdom. On the other hand, Dame Folly, a symbol of ignorance and foolishness, also extends an invitation, but hers leads to a path of deceit and destruction. She beckons the naive to indulge in stolen water and secret bread, symbols of ill-gotten gains and sinful pleasures. In the life and teachings of Jesus, we see a clear parallel to the invitation of Lady Wisdom. He consistently called people towards wisdom, righteousness, and the knowledge of God. His teachings, parables, and actions all echo the invitation to partake in the feast of divine wisdom and to shun the destructive path of folly. Jesus, like Lady Wisdom, invites us to the path of wisdom and righteousness. Chapter 10 of Proverbs contrasts the wise and the foolish, righteousness and wickedness. This chapter brims with timeless wisdom that finds resonance in Jesus' teachings. The wise, as portrayed in Proverbs, are those who heed instruction, value honesty, and foster peace. The foolish, on the other hand, display laziness, deceit, and stir up conflict. Jesus, often through parables, underscored these principles. Consider the parable of the wise and foolish builders. The wise man built his house on the rock, symbolizing a life grounded in the teachings of Jesus, while the foolish man built on sand, indicating a life lacking spiritual foundation. Similarly, the parable of the talents illustrates the value of diligence versus the pitfalls of laziness. The servants who wisely invested their talents were commended, while the lazy servant faced rebuke. Through his teachings, Jesus echoed the wisdom of Proverbs, encouraging righteousness and wisdom. His life and words offer a compelling guide on how to navigate the contrasts of wisdom and folly, righteousness and wickedness. Proverbs 11 extols the virtues of honesty, integrity, and generosity. It's a beautiful chapter that emphasizes the importance of these core values, ones that Jesus Christ embodied in his life and teachings. Let's delve into these virtues. Honesty is a cornerstone of Proverbs 11. It states, "The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity." This resonates deeply with Jesus' life. Remember when he drove out the money changers from the temple? His actions were a powerful testament to his commitment to honesty and fairness. Integrity, too, is a crucial virtue. Jesus' life was a shining example of integrity, always living in accordance with his teachings. His actions consistently reflected his words, demonstrating a life of uncompromised integrity. And let's not forget generosity. Jesus' teachings on charity and selflessness are legendary. His commandment to love your neighbor as yourself encapsulates the spirit of generosity that Proverbs 11 upholds. Jesus lived and taught the virtues of honesty, integrity, and generosity, reflecting the wisdom of Proverbs. Reflecting on our exploration, we see a clear alignment between Proverbs and Jesus' teachings. Jesus not only taught but lived the principles of wisdom found in Proverbs. As we conclude our journey, let's summarize the key points. May the wisdom of Proverbs and the teachings of Jesus guide us in our lives. Thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more enriching content.